Bukayo, a night that started so brilliantly. How flat you just walked out of?
Yeah, it's very flat. I'm very disappointed with the result and especially how we played in the second half. Far from the level that we've set this season.
So what would you say happened second half? And are you worried it's a bit of a reoccurring theme, letting teams back into matches that you seem to have locked down?
Not so much about reoccurring theme. It's time for us to reflect on the last few performances and just fix the issues immediately so we can get back to winning games and going on a run and build momentum because, we've lost that a bit right now.
Did you think you've lost it? Is that due to the situation you're facing? You're going for massive prizes? Is the pressure part of it?
No, I don't think about all of that, man. I just think we need to just get back to our level, just do the basics right, and we've got more than enough quality in this team to win games, especially the games where we've been dropping points recently. So we just need to fix that, and that's all our focus is right now.
Thanks, Bukayo.
Thank you.
So Saka, crikey, this is why we love the Premier League, but Martin Keown not loving the Premier League tonight. He has been through a range of emotions. Mr. Keown, your reaction?
Well, difficult evening, obviously massively disappointing. Arteta, you see it written all over his face. It's one of those where if you're to be a champion, you've got to go and take it. And it seemed that too many players were hoping for them to get over the line. Not enough conviction in that final third, and I could just see it. We was just sat in the green room, I kept saying, this is not looking like it's going to go well tonight. A massive point for Wolves. When a player who hasn't scored in 106 games scores with their first strike of the game, you think this could be difficult. And the second one, obviously, players getting in each other's way, the calamity of errors, and suddenly you're throwing away points.
And Martin, when you look at the table there, look, you're still leading the way, Arsenal, but if Manchester City beat Newcastle on Saturday night, they would be within 2 points of your old team.
Yep, and Arsenal need to go, obviously, to play away at Man City, so it's wide open. You're playing the bottom team in the Premier League. You have to win this game, and Arsenal let it slip through their fingers tonight.
Glenn, what did you make of Arsenal in that second half? And look, we have to praise Wolves because they absolutely took the game to them, didn't they?
They were brilliant. Second half, I think Rob Edwards would have had some really good words with them, maybe keen words, if you like, and said, look, we got to put a glove on them. They didn't look like they could put a glove on Arsenal first half. Second half, the emphasis was to press higher, get bodies forward, get people in the box and believe in themselves. And they did that second half. And to be fair to them, they lost the goal. They went 2-0 down and they just kept playing. They thought, well, we've got nothing to lose, let's go for it. For me, I think Arsenal lost the points in the first half. After they scored the first goal, that is the moment where they, for the 15-20 minutes, a really top side who have been there, done it, would have taken Wolves to the cleaners and won the game then. Got the second and third and maybe it would have been an easy night.
Yeah, when you're in this situation, you've got to get that second goal, you've got to get it quickly. Of course, they got that. But then they allow too much space and time for a player to cut inside and hit it from distance.
You see these faces of the Arsenal fans here, Martin. A lot of them, look, she's checking the table, that is for sure. What do you say to them there?
Well, look, Arsenal are 5 points clear at the top of the table. It's still wide open. There's still a chance to win it. It's how you recover now. The team had a massive opportunity tonight to stretch their lead. So look, this hurt's going to have to be used as oxygen going forward, but you can't keep giving away opportunities in winning positions. It's happening a lot to Arsenal this year, giving away from winning opportunities, there's letting games slip. There'll be some strong talking in that dressing room now, and it's like, you've got to be all in to win this, and tonight it didn't go well.
And the numbers are there. They are stark, and it's not good, Glenn, from an Arsenal point of view. In terms of, recent weeks, because you look at Arsenal, they've dropped points in 5 of their last 7 games. Yeah. So they've taken 10 from a possible 21. And look, Manchester City are by no means convincing everyone at the moment, but they will take a lot of heart from that result.
Oh, exactly. They've opened the door. It was Arsenal's, a few weeks ago, it was Arsenal's to lose, to give away. And I said the analogy of before going into a golf major, and it doesn't start until the back 9 on a Sunday. Arsenal tonight have just gone into the back 9, and they're on the wobble. And that's what happens to guys if they haven't won it in a major, a massive thing, and you've got a really top player behind you that's done it, Man City.
Yeah.
If it's Tiger Woods or Scheffler, you bottle it.
Yeah.
There's no other word, you bottle it.
Going to take a break there. Much more to come from Mr. Keown and Mr. Hoddle after the...
Played extraordinary finish to that game. Tom, you've just lived out, I think, every kid's dream scoring that goal at the end. Well, we think scoring that goal at the end, but just talk us through it and what it meant to you.
Well, I mean, playing football as a kid, like, you dream of things like this. And I'm just so thankful for Rob even putting me on the pitch for the first place. And then, a dream come true. Hopefully it is my goal, but yeah. Just a dream come true.
So even that second, as you're coming onto the pitch to be a Premier League footballer, whatever happens after that, no one can take that away from you. What is that moment like?
Well, I mean, when he said my name, I didn't think he said my name at first.
You look round.
My heart just started beating, but I just was ready to go on a pitch and just do what I can and try and help the team do as best as they can.
And we just had a little chat off camera, and I thought I was about to break your heart and say it wasn't your goal. My latest information is that it is, and you're a Premier League goal scorer. Let's hope that comment stands the test of time, but what would that mean to you?
Yeah, that just means the world. I mean, I trained hard as a kid. I've been playing football my whole life, so to score my Premier League debut it's just feelings I can't describe it at the moment, but it's just amazing.
But of course, Hugo, he isn't the only person to score his first Premier League goal today. What did it mean to you?
Yeah, amazing. It took me a bit more than him, but
just a little.
Yeah, it's always nice, It's a lot of hard work, like he said, behind. It's not been an easy season, so to get a little reward today it was amazing.
What are you thinking at 2-0 down? I mean, you showed a lot of fight, a lot of resilience for a team that's had a really tough season.
Yeah. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, especially when you go 2-0 down at home. But we always believed that if we kept going, we could do what we did today. So I'm so happy for everyone. I think we deserve it, and hopefully we can keep this momentum up.
You better talk us through your finish, because that was some finish.
As soon as Santi gave me wide, I didn't think it twice. I just tried to shoot on goal, and it went in. So amazing. It was a good night for everyone.
And what was it like to see the stadium like that? Because, as I said earlier, it has been tough.
One thing that we always say is that we have to do this also for the club, for the fans. They are always there supporting us. It's not been an easy season, so it's always good to give them something, that we are here, we are still working, we are still giving everything every day. I'm really happy for them as well.
And Tom, final word to you. Who's here to enjoy that with your friends, family?
I mean, I've been on a bench for a couple of weeks, so my family's been coming to them. But my dad managed to get to this one, so it's good.
Nice. And your brother? I mean, I don't know if everyone knows, but he's a professional footballer as well for Southampton.
Yeah, I know. It's having an older brother who plays football. It's good because I've got a role model to look up to and see what it takes to get there. So it's helpful. Yeah.
And that when you get back to the change room, that phone is going to be red hot, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It probably will be. But
It will be.
Yeah.
Well done. Unbelievable. Well done, both of you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Don't know if Martin can muster a smile looking at that. It was a great story, isn't it? For Tom Edozie on the pitch, 10 minutes, his professional debut, and there he is rescuing a point for Wolves. It will mean very little to them, but obviously in terms of the rebuild in the Championship next season, absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look at the Wolves goals, because the first one was a beauty, wasn't it, Glenn, from Hugo Bueno?
That was.
Had a lot of space, didn't he, on the edge of the box, but can't argue with the finish.
No, given space, you got to punish your opponents, and he does. They changed the play really well here. There, he just gets it. He knows exactly, as that ball's coming to me, he knows I'm getting this on my left foot. I'm not being closed, so that there's no way I'm going to be put under pressure. Mane does really well there. They change it quickly, and Capia doesn't get out quick enough. He really doesn't. He's got to be reading a ball before it gets across to Bueno, and it just opens his body up, and it's a fabulous strike. It really is. The thing is, it had dip as well. He had a little bit of curl, but it had that dip. And this, Martin, was when you were really concerned, weren't you? Going 2-0 was OK, but 2-1, it was always going to be dodgy.
Do you know what, in terms of the message for the defenders, so Nkapia there, for me, he's got to get... I mean, if he gets tight enough and stands on that left foot, then he's not even going to think about shooting. But why not? We know he hasn't scored in a whole lot of games, 106 games, but he's thinking, do you know what, might as well take a punt from here. And Nkapia is concerned about keeping his arms down, making handball. Everyone drops and concedes the space too quickly. And then you give your opponent a massive leg up in the game. And at that stage, they were looking like they could get back into it. We were, as I say, becoming nervy at this point.
You wouldn't let me take the box off the camera in the green room to get your emotions, your reactions, Martin. Glenn was making some faces and stuff. There was all sorts going on in there. Did you see it coming, that equaliser? Were you starting to feel nervous towards the end there, 94th minute?
I can't say that I didn't see it coming, because I was saying this doesn't look comfortable. And it just felt that there was that feeling of hoping you can win it without going and grabbing it. And I think there would be a feeling now, this might even be a lesson to the group, because when we reflect on it, it's not over for Arsenal. But they have to make sure this is not the beginning of the end of their quest to be champions.
Yeah.
And use it as oxygen going into the next games. But they had a great opportunity tonight, but not enough conviction to finish the game off.
What a moment for Tomadosi, though. He came on in the 84th minute. Rob Edwards throwing him on. We heard his reaction there, and he, delighted. He said that the gaffer gave me a chance. And 10 minutes later, he's written his name into the headlines, Glenn.
Well, let's hope it has been given the goal. But it's a great technique, under pressure as well. And he's not thinking too much about it. They make a real big mistake there. Gabriel and Rea. There's got to be a shout from the keeper there. But the ball's played in. This is wonderful technique. And he's nice and relaxed. He's pounced on it and he's kept over the top of the ball. That is the main thing. There's the mistake. You punish people if they make that sort of mistake.
Yes,
he did.
Are you
Great
playing,
technique.
Are you playing spoil sport here? Are you taking that away from him? Is that Calafiori a goal? The moment it's an Adozi goal?
No, it should be his goal. And do you know that this is the opposite extreme? So we're talking about different emotions here. This is a kid who didn't even know he was going to be in the squad. He gets off the bench. He comes on, he's got absolutely nothing to lose. He's playing with freedom. And he ends up scoring a massive goal.
And before the game, Mark, that's what we said about Wolves. They're planning for next year. So Rob's looked at that and thought, I'm going to put a young kid on the bench, and he's put him on as well. And he's made the difference.
So what's the message? Don't worry, still top of the table. But where would the main concerns be, Mikel Arteta, first session back on that training pitch?
I think really in front of goal. I think trying to finish teams off. What are you getting as an end product? The ball has gone from one end of the pitch to the other. Jesus has not ended up with an end product. We've not even had a shot at goal, and it's gone straight the other end. I can understand the goalkeeper occasionally, Gabriel. There's a bit of a mix-up. They're both trying to get to a ball that, Gabriel has to trust his goalkeeper. But it becomes a bit nervy, and then it all falls on the defence. So I have some sympathy there. But the front of the team could have kept that, could have time wasted, could have done a whole lot of other things. But giving it away without any real... It was just a nothing challenge for it to lead from that was disappointing.
I just feel, I look at Arsenal now at Brentford and today, and I just feel they're doubting themselves. Months ago they weren't. They were authoritative. They were looking at we are Arsenal, we're going to win it this year. Now they're doubting themselves, and this is why I said about this analogy of they're under pressure now. It's all about the mentality. They've got to really be strong and collective to go again.
But how hard is that as a manager to reinforce that belief?
Well, first and foremost, he'll be disappointed himself. He's got to pick himself up first before he can pick any of his players up, that's for sure. But it is time. It's time. It's not a crossroads, but it's time to say, we've got to start again here, boys. We've got to go again. They're not decimated with loads of injuries. They're not missing so many players, but they've got to go again. They've got the North London derby at Tottenham, which ain't going to be easy. I think they'll have enough maybe to beat Tottenham because the Spurs' squad at the moment.
There's so much left of the season.
A long way to go.
It's been a bad night, but
they're doubting themselves.
You get knocked down, you get back up again. That's the life of a footballer.
But you know the way this will be dressed up, Martin, whether you like it or not. It'll be a case of, and it's in Arsenal's hands, of course, but it is also now in Manchester City's hands as well with the game at the Etihad.
Yeah, and perhaps it's going to be tough for them. Perhaps now the fact that they can go and maybe see that they can win it becomes difficult for them. They've got rid of 5 or 6 really key players. The De Bruyne's, the Gundogan's, the goalkeeper's gone, Walker's gone, Akanji's gone. So it's a different group, and they're not necessarily as consistent. So it's over to them now to see what they can do.
The key thing for me is the management team around that team has been there and done it.
Well, we know Pep's won 18
trophies.
So
that's a big difference.
Yeah, he's won 18 trophies for Man City. I mean, he's a serial winner. So, at the end of the day, you're up against one of the all-time greats. But you have to give more than you gave tonight. And I think they'll realise that.
Yeah.
The penny will drop for these players, and they have to turn it around.
And will the concern be the fact that the position they were in as well was so commanding, wasn't it? After Bukayo Saka had given them the lead in the 5th minute, and then obviously 2-0 up, and the ability to see out a game against a team who's rock bottom of the Premier League, will that be the main worry?
Well, look, even if Arsenal had won tonight, it's not over, is it? It's certainly not over now that they've drawn a game of football. It's how they react now, which is key. But you can't keep being in front and giving the game away. Go and take it. Want to go and be champions. That's the difference tonight. I thought they had a great opportunity to finish it off. When you've got your opponent with your foot on the floor, you don't let them up. And I thought tonight they gave them a chance to come back in the game. This is 3 minutes in, and Saka, or 5 minutes in, we talked about Saka in this role, and it was working beautifully. But they never, Glenn. I thought they needed to score in this momentum. They needed to score maybe 2, maybe 3.
They needed to go for the throw just after that. But what would concern me from the Arsenal's camp is that 2-0, that is the worst they played. They're 2-0 up, and that is where the 90-plus minutes, that's the worst they played. They went downhill with
Glenn,
their
just
performance.
To add something to what you're saying there, last 5 games in the Premier League, they've dropped 7 points from winning positions.
There's a doubt in their minds. That's what I'm talking about. There's a definite doubt in their minds, and I just feel that unless they win the next couple of games, and all this will be, yesterday's talk, they've got a real couple of games ahead of them now. They really have got to focus in. They've got cup in between as well, of course, but the bottom line is they are self-doubting. When you do that, that's a very difficult thing mentally to overcome.
It's hard to dress that up in a positive way when you look at that, Martin, last 7.
Yes, but when you're on the inside of that, you have to flick that switch, Will. Yeah. Like people can have fun with it, where it seems everywhere you go as an Arsenal man, everyone's loving it, that Arsenal, things are slipping away. But on the inside, you've got to be tough. Mm-hmm. You've got to have that steely determination to say, do you know what, I don't care what's coming my way. We're better than that. And we can turn this around. I'd like to see Havertz back. Maybe all too important because he's been injured again. That's not his fault. He's only took to the pitch 9 times in a calendar year. That's been painful. So you need to get people back. Marino's out now for the rest of the season pretty well. So that hurts the group, Ødegaard. But you need someone. You need that match winner. That's someone who gives everyone belief, puts it out of sight.
But they should have done that after Brentford. What you're saying is right. You've got to do that. But after Brentford, they've dropped points there. Then you're saying what you're saying. But it hasn't happened tonight. And unless they get a win under their belt at the weekend, they're going to be in trouble.
But it's relentless. It's game after game. It's relentless for us, covering the games, talking about the games. Never mind the players. But at the end of the day, if they can win it, it's a beautiful feeling. So they've got to keep striving for that. Well, look, they're not going to give up, Will.
No, I know you're not. And I love the fighting attitude. And that will be, of course, the talk in the Arsenal dressing room. But this is what's to come up to the game against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium on the 18th of April. And, of course, within that, that's the next 6 Premier League. But within that, they play Manchester City in a cup final at Wembley, which I know you'll be going to and having your eye on that. I wonder how much is going to be on that in terms of psychology.
Yeah, but this is when you have to love it. You don't fear. Fear doesn't.
Do you think they love it? Because I know you do. Do you see that?
Well, that's what I want to see.
That's
what I want to see. I want to see the whites of their eyes, and I want to see that we're all in or no one's in, and that's what you need to be successful. And it's like the workloads we know they're tremendous. They're playing games every 2 or 3 days, and he's got injuries. Where Man City's squad now, they bought two players in the transfer window. Semenya and Guehi have really stocked their squad well. And Arsenal have lost players, but look, we've still got enough players to go and do something. There's still time here, but they'll be reflecting tonight that was another missed opportunity.
We need people between you on Sunday for the North London derby. That's next for Arsenal.
We're not allowed anywhere near that game.
The thing is, they got
Spurs' new manager. I mean, that's no walkthrough, is it?
Now, any new manager, you're looking for an upturn without a doubt. Whether Spurs have got the right team out, they've got 13 injuries, and it's a good time for Arsenal to play them in that sense. Not after that result.
Spurs will see that tonight, though, won't they?
Oh, of course they will.
Hold on,
there'll be a bit of heart
here.
Exactly, there'll be a bit of heart, and this is the crossroads now that Arsenal face. The next they've got 2 London derbies. They've got Tottenham and Chelsea. They're going to be tough games.
Let me just get in. Welcome back then. Martin Keown and Glenn Hoddle in the studio, and the Premier League table, Martin, is looking tasty from an Arsenal point of view, isn't it? As it stands, 7 points clear of Manchester City, who play Newcastle ahead of the North London derby on Sunday. Let's get straight into the goal. We spent pre-match talking about Bukayo Saka. New contract looks like it's in the bag, Glenn, and there he is with a very rare header. You don't see many of these from Bukayo Saka.
No.
A 58th Premier League goal, the 4th with his head.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about Rice's delivery, actually. But we've highlighted him. He's strolling. He's done nothing outrageous there. He's not made great movement. He's strolling in, And Mane, of all people, goes back. Now he goes down and does his socks for some reason. He's on the penalty spot. If you go back into that position, you've got to be concentrated. He ball watches all day long, but it's a hell of a ball from Rice.
What was he looking for? A pen in those socks for part of the celebration?
I've got no idea what he'll be doing. But it's a lovely ball because the keeper, Saka, can't come. And Saka, to be fair to him, just makes a little bit of movement off the back of Mane. And he does well with the header.
And Mane would have been given the brief, wouldn't he? Saka's going to be your man. He's probably going to be floating in between the lines. So stay goal side.
Martin, what does this mean? Signy?
Yeah, I think he's an indication that he's definitely signed for the fans, which is obviously great news.
It'd be a great time to announce it, wouldn't it, after that?
Well, it'd be better if he scores a second in the second half. Because I think
puts it out of sight.
Arteta will be... I mean, Glenn, you've done enough team talks at half-time. You know the job is not finished for an Arsenal point of view. And he's like, OK, let's get it done. Let's be a little bit more predatory in front of goal. I think Martinelli had a good opportunity that he didn't take.
Yeah.
Hint of a penalty, which we're going to have.
A hint? Just a hint? We'll take those red glasses off. Is it a hint or is it more than a hint?
What do you think? I think the referee just about... I mean, VAR took a good look at it, but I think they came to the right conclusion. Although the defender, Andres, takes a huge risk. We'll see it better from the other angle. I mean, he gets a lovely little back heel, and he's the wrong side of his man, so it's a bit of a blind tackle. He can't see the ball.
Took a chance.
And he just about gets away with it.
Yeah.
Glenn?
I think for me, he just gets a little touch. If you look, the direction of the ball just moves away, and it's a risk of a tackle. It is, because he's in an awkward position. But I think you can't be given a penalty for that. I think he played the ball in the end of the day.
Happy with that, Martin? Happy?
Well, there was one on Madueke that
he was saying about Madueke, a push.
I think it was a little bit of a push, which seems to be. I mean, I know we're at Stockley Park. It's becoming a bit of a theme.
Careful.
I think
they're upstairs.
Have a look for what the forward player is doing with their hands. Yeah. When the ball comes in. I think maybe they get away with one.
Arsenal did have a chance, didn't they, towards the end of that first half. It was Andre rather than Arsenal. Dragged wide here, Glenn. But, they showed some desire, didn't they, towards the end of the 45.
Well, this is the problem that Mikel will be saying at half-time. He'll be saying that they've had one attempt, he's dragged it a little bit, but it's an opportunity. If that flies in the top corner, then they've got real game on. I think, and with Martin there, I think that Arsenal really have got to step it up and go for the throat and really put an end to this game. They get the second goal, the game's over. But whilst you've got a chance, anything can happen. A free kick, a long ball in, handball, whatever, VAR.
Or a long throw that works, Martin. Well, we talked, didn't we, about Brentford and how effective they were against Arsenal in the last Premier League meeting. What have you made of these from Wolves?
Well, again, it hasn't got the trajectory, hasn't got the distance. It's not really been... I mean, this one was a bit better, but there's not been many that have come in there, and Arsenal have dealt with it completely differently, and Mascara's not able to throw... I mean, obviously, that's the important ingredient. You've got to be able to have the distance on it, and that's perfect to come onto. It just doesn't go long enough, Glenn. I
just wonder, look, we were saying about throws, you've got to make the first contact. All them throws, they've not made one time they've done first contact, get a flick on. Then there's a danger to your opponent. But for me now, I'm wondering if Rob's in there in the second half and says, look, put the centre-backs up there, but you go, pretend you're going to do a long one, and someone comes out, short throw in, get it in, whip it in, because you've got the centre-backs up. Yeah. They can make new movement from that new near post to the back post and throw something a bit different, because they ain't working at the moment.
Get Hoddle in that dressing room at Molineux.
So Arsenal with the lead at the break, and it didn't take them long to get ahead. But what did you make of that first half performance from both teams?
I don't think it was a great first half performance, if I'm being honest. I think it was something... I actually think Wolves would be more happier. They're still in the game. It's still 1-0. Arsenal haven't capitalised on scoring so early. I actually think coming towards the end of the first half, Wolves started to push forward a little bit, and staying in the game against an opposition like this for Wolves is huge, no matter how well you play. So Arsenal started off better. Arsenal started off on top, but it's not one we'll remember for a while, mate, is it?
Oh, no. No, when they went 1-0 up, you're thinking, oh, here we go. Wolves will have to come out. Arsenal will be full of confidence, and the game's fizzled out, and I'm with Connor. The longer now, they'll be more than happy, Wolves. When they go 1-0 down in 4 or 5 minutes, you're thinking, oh, I wish the family never come and watch this. But now, all of a sudden, they're back in the game again. So, for me, yeah, I've been disappointed with Arsenal, if I'm being honest. I know I said they had to just win this game whatever way, but it's just not playing that flow in football. There's no connection around the pitch, and it just seems like whatever they do, they're falling upon it. It doesn't seem like there's a pattern to the play, if that makes sense.
Let's have a look at that first goal. 5 minutes into the game, Bukayo Saka, first goal in 16 games as well for him. You weren't super convinced, though, in this number 10 role for him, but he gets on the score sheet.
But he does well here, but if you watch, like, Mane, it comes to Rice here and then Mane gets back. And I don't know what Mane's doing, but if you watch him, he does his socks. Watch him. Just pulls his socks up and then he loses concentration. Now he's lost. He don't know where he is. Doesn't know where he is. And that all comes from just as he does his socks. You watch. Saka's quite clever because as he goes to do his sock, he goes. Watch, he goes now. He goes, bang, I'm going. And he's lost him. And that's it now. His concentration levels. And it's a good finish. It's a good finish. You'd love to see Gyökeres in there. You know, just for that goal, you know. But, yeah, Saka... Honestly, I thought after that, oh, goal difference here. This is going to be 4 or 5, but hasn't even looked like it, has it?
We mentioned, didn't we, about kind of a forward being in there and defending. Usually defenders, they open the body up a little bit. As they open the body, they can see where Saka is or where the striker is, just to get hold of them and get your arm out. But you could tell it was a striker defending that situation. It was a great little bit of movement. It was a fantastic ball from Declan Rice. I think we know that's what he can do anyway. Celebration was lovely as well. I know he's obviously just signed a new contract, but a good goal for Arsenal. We just thought they were going to kick on, didn't we? We just thought they were going to kick on, but Wolves just hung in there and I said, come strong towards the end.
We can have a look at the match stats now because obviously it's more in favour of Arsenal, but as you mentioned, especially those last 15 minutes or so for Wolves, they're going to go in at half-time and think we can definitely get something from this game. Yeah,
don't get me wrong, Wolves haven't been electric in the last 10 minutes of the half, but they've hung in there, and that's the biggest thing. And we mentioned before about being happy. Listen, Arsenal win the game, so they'll be happy out the two teams, of course they will. But Wolves are still there. They're still within with the shout of it. And we've seen it early on in the year when they played at the Emirates. They hung in the game, they got one in the 90th minute and ended up losing it. But now we're looking at a situation where they're at Molineux. Can they just hang in there? Can they keep it at 1 for as long as they possibly can? And you just never ever know.
Well, you never know.